Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I wanted to share something with you guys that I thought was really interesting. I know I didn't expect to go live, but it's Friday night, and I just decided to share this with you because I thought it was something worth talking about. I don't know if you guys remember Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo Huxtable, from The Cosby Show. I'm sure you do. Everybody knows Theo. He actually did something that really surprised me, and it made me really proud of him, actually. He really took this stand that a lot of people wouldn't take because a lot of black people are pressured by the mob. They're kind of pressured by what's popular. And they, especially celebrities. A lot of celebrities, they know other celebrities, and they're basically afraid of pissing off all their friends. So they don't really say anything. They'll let children die. They'll let black youth get hooked on drugs. They, let black kids get led into all kinds of chaotic situations, sent to prison and raped, 400 times, because they don't want to be a hater. They don't want to be a hater. And I'll tell you what, I think that we got to kind of think about that and ask ourselves, do we really even have the strength as individuals to stand up against what the culture is doing, what the avalanche is trying to tell us? So let me share something with you guys. I'm gonna share my screen because I want you to see what he put up. He actually retweeted something from Speech, and I think it's Speech from Arrested Development, and it's off this picture, this really famous black rapper selfie that was taken, where they're all kind of, holding up their little liquor bottles, cheers, everything else. And he actually, really said something that was 100% real. I was actually really proud of him for saying it. Let me show you what it is. Let me show you the image. Okay, so the image is here, right? So you see, you got this image with Jay-Z and Diddy, and there's T.I., there's Swiss Beats. I forgot this guy's name, but he's like famous in the industry. He represents a lot of celebrities and a bunch of other random people that, rappers. I don't know. I think this might be either the guy from Outkast, or it could literally be like MC Hammer. So one of y'all got to tell me who that is. I don't know who that short guy is, but there's a kind of a famous picture, right? And on one hand, I know DJ Khaled's in the picture. There's Khaled down at the corner. And on one hand, there are a lot of people that say, oh, look at this. This is black excellence, black excellence, black excellence, because we define black excellence by how much money you have. When the reality is black excellence should go a little deeper than how much money you have. So here's what Speech put up, and Malcolm retweeted it or reposted it. Speech wrote, famous from perpetrating or perpetuating, sorry, famous from perpetuating the worst black stereotypes to the ears and eyes of the whole planet, like drug dealing, pimping, murdering other black men, and disrespecting black women. I know, making observations as being a hater. Cheers. I thought that was a great way to kind of sort of play into what we kind of do. We kind of say, oh, you're a hater, you're a hater. If you don't go along with, something that's clearly destructive, clearly proven to be destructive. It's not like it's debatable as to whether or not it's helpful to, rap to little kids about murdering each other. It's not really debatable. It's not debatable to say, that maybe a song with the lyrics like Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet could be harmful to a child. That's not really a debatable point. That's not something where you could say, chances are that song is going to make him less likely to want to try Molly Percocet. Studies will show that child is more likely to try it because he's hearing it, he's being promoted to him like a product, like marketing works, right? So anyway, here's what Malcolm wrote. Malcolm said, I really spent some time deliberating on whether to repost this or not. Brother Speech. He said, Brother Speech went out on a limb to post this. I support him. At first glance, many will see this post as hating, but real is real. Facts are facts. Taking all judgment, justifications, and shade out of the equation, we're still left with the facts. One can say these cats successfully pimped the system. One can say it's better they raped or produced music, rapped or produced music about it than going out and actually doing what they rap about. One can come up with many valid justifications, but there are many impressionable or or misguided young people in our communities who don't have people in their lives to point out the difference between entertainment and reality, who don't have the means, no matter how talented, to escape their circumstances via sports or entertainment. And as a result, are programmed through the music they listen to the most. Music that perpetuates the very stereotypes and conditions that have been intentionally placed upon us to keep us stuck at a low level of awareness and knowledge of self. Many of us who've grown up on these brothers have evolved, but I don't necessarily hear the same evolution in the music. Niggas are still niggas, as bitches and hoes. And flipping bricks and tricks is still the way to get that dough until you make enough to live like they do. And if you think these men got rich off of what they've sold us in hip hop, just imagine how much money the white man made off of them. So let's see here. He says, speech, key perspective. I listen to many of these brothers' art, and I respect certain things about them, but it is imperative that we don't lose sight of the simple truth. These men are congratulated by white supremacist culture for degrading black men and women, portraying us as disposable, as a cockroach within their lyrics. They taught and glorified the drug, pimp, prostitution, stripper, and gang game, and led many impressionable people down a path that they paid heavily for, while these successful dudes got paid. This is not a diss, it's a reminder that all that glitters ain't gold. True black power is not this, it's despite this. So I'd be curious to know what you guys think about it. I'm not really one to hop in here and tell you all, what to think one way or the other. What I am here to say is that, I wanted to throw it out there to kind of let you guys kind of tell me what you think. I think that Malcolm, I'll tell you this, I can say that Malcolm definitely took a huge leap of faith to do this, because the way the celebrity circle works is that everybody knows Malcolm Jamal Warner. He probably knows a lot of these guys in this picture. And you risk offending your friends when you tell the truth. But the thing is, he told the truth in love. He told the truth in a way that I think can generate the kind of awareness that we probably need to have as a community. And you risk offending your friends when you tell the truth. Sorry, guys. Let me finish off. So, I think that, what he did was pretty courageous. So let's see here. Pablo says they've all sold their souls to the devil. Let's see here. Lala says all of a sudden black riches who has no more struggle all of a sudden become black advocates. Interesting. Eric Hill says dude is mad because he wasn't in the picture. Okay, so that fits kind of the hater narrative, right? I imagine Malcolm Jamal Warner has been in a lot of famous pictures, so I don't think that's really the issue. Hamza says I agree 100%. How much money? Eric says, how much money do y'all think is in that room? That I don't know. I mean, it could be a lot of money. It may or may not be. The interesting issue is that whenever you have, a situation like that, you have a couple of people that become figureheads that make a ton of money, and they're selling the community, to white folks who want to see you on stage, rapping and dancing and calling yourself a nigger, right? It's not like they're making the money selling health food. They're not making the money selling education. They're not making the money selling a better life. They're not making the money selling, ideas on how to become wealthy, well-read, or intelligent. They're making their money by basically telling a story, a fairy tale that white folks like to hear about life in the hood. I'll kill that nigga, I'll shoot that nigga, stuff like that. And I think that what it does is it puts us in an awkward position where it's very difficult for us to then turn around and say, we don't like it when police shoot us, but yet we're okay saying or listen to a rapper who's telling other black people to shoot us, right? That just doesn't make any sense. That's kind of crazy. Okay, somebody said there's Yo Gotti. Okay, he looks a lot like MC Hammer in that picture. I swear to God. All right, Tanika says today I'm officially a student of the Black Stock Market Program. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Well, I'm very proud of you. If you want to join the Black Stock Market Program, you can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. You can actually join for free for the first 6 months, theblackstockmarketprogram.com. And now might actually be a good time to invest in stocks because the stock market just took a huge plunge. And I personally went in and bought a whole lot of stock based on history. When the market takes a dip, that's when the best buying opportunities tend to emerge. But then again, though, nobody can predict the future, so nobody actually knows. So Sonokov, Asika says the real black leadership shall arise and hold them accountable. Okay, interesting. Wayne says, so it is what it is. Samaj says, so with many blessings comes more responsibility. These black men need to realize their platform and use it for forward movement. Okay. Don Beckton says most of the artists in the picture signed to Rock Nation. Okay. I'm gonna tell you, I was listening to the radio on my way home, and I thought it was so interesting to listen to. I was listening to a Cardi B song, and I always kind of pay attention to the lyrics of hip hop songs very closely, because I've been, when you go on shows like The Breakfast Club, you got to kind of know what's going on, right? So I've been on The Breakfast Club maybe 4 times. I don't remember how many times, but when I go in there, I always like to just make sure I'm aware of the music, and I can. First thing I do before I actually try to critique it is I take time to try to um, appreciate it. I try to like it. I try to say, well, what do people like about this song? Oh, it's catchy. Okay, it's got a good beat. Genocide sounds, works really well if it's to a good beat, right? And then I'll analyze and dissect the lyrics. And what I have found is that basically hip hop lyrics tend to fall. And I want you to pay attention when you go listen to a hip hop song. I want you to analyze the lyrics, and the lyrics tend to fall into a few small number of categories. Either in the verse, the man is talking about how much money he's got, but it's not really like wealth. It's really more like material things. Like, I'm driving the black Audi. I'm skirt. I'm in the Beamer, whatever it is, right? I got the $100,000 chain, stuff like that. And then there's like the violence, right? Like, there's a million and one. There are very few people in this earth who've come up with more creative ways to kill a black man than black men have, right? Like, I heard a rapper describing another rapper's lyrics, and one of the things that he said is that if you talk about killing somebody, you got to be creative with your metaphor. You got to say, like, I'm gonna blow out your brains and knock out your college tuition, or I'm gonna chop your head off with the chopper. Whatever it is. Like, he said, you got to be really creative in terms of describing how you kill somebody. You can't just say, I'm gonna come kill you. You got to say it in a way that's creative. So, so if you think about that, it's really interesting. You really got to process this. Think about how mentally ill we have to be, that we literally have a group of brilliant people that sit around and find all the creative ways to murder a black man. Um, that really is very similar to what the KKK did 100 years ago, right? That's what they did. The neo-Nazis and skinheads and KKK members that want to murder black people, they say, what creative way can we come up with that's going to torture this nigga as much as possible before we let him die, right? So we can make actually a little list. So first, you got the reference to money. Then you got the reference to death, to black genocide, the death of young black men. So, I just keep it honest. I keep it real. It's hard for me to really get overly emotional about it's a little bit like the way I kind of end up seeing abortion. I'm pro-life. I'm probably more pro-life than I'm pro-choice more than pro-life. But it's hard for me with abortion, right? It's hard if you tell me that I shouldn't care that a mother aborted her unborn baby, then it's weird when you tell me that but I'm supposed to become really attached and really care about a baby that comes out of the womb. Like, when I see an unborn baby or a born baby, I see kind of the same thing. They're just different stages of their development. They're kind of the same. Every born child used to be an unborn child. So it's hard for me to be sensitive to one thing and completely insensitive to the other. So the same thing is true with the music, right? You're telling me, look, Paquan got shot by the police, and you're asking me to get emotional about it, to cry about it. When Trayvon died, you have people saying, I can't sleep. I'm worried about my son going out. It's really stressing me out. It's really bothering me. I pray for Eric Garner every day. I was thinking about Mike Brown the other night. Well, to me, Mike Brown, his death was tragic, whether he was killed by a white cop or a black man. Like, it's all tragic to me. So I can't be sensitive to the death of a Mike Brown and then be completely turn around and be totally insensitive to the death of another Mike Brown who got shot by a black person. Or be insensitive when, like if a cop gets on the radio and says, here's all the ways I'm gonna kill a nigga today. I'm gonna chop his balls off, and then I'm gonna put the balls in his mouth, then I'm gonna cut his head off, and I'm gonna feed him, or I'm gonna cut his penis off and feed it to him, and whatever, what I mean, just whatever. Like if he goes into some creative, lyrically sophisticated way to rap to a beat about how many niggas he's gonna murder today, we would be so offended. We would be ready to go burn down that police station. Like, y'all would be out of your mind as far as anger, right? If a white cop was to make a song a really hip, a cool song, right? With a great beat, you know, and say, kill that nigga, shoot that nigga, I'm gonna blow that nigga's brains out in front of his baby. I'm gonna go to his grandmama's house and kill her too. Like, if you really heard a cop say that, you would literally be so distraught that you would literally go and say, this is hurtful. This is not right. I don't want to hear this. This stresses me out. This scares me. But you have artists, hip hop artists, black people who work for white hip hop labels that are pretty much, because they don't usually own much of anything. You know, they are literally being compensated to go in front of audiences full of white people to tell them all the creative ways they want to kill a nigga. Like, I'll chop his nuts off. I'm a chop his throat, slice his throat into little pieces. I'm a blow, you know, I'm a shoot him in his dome, and he's gonna lose it. You're gonna lose your head. Like literally, that's what happens in lyrics. In fact, I can pull up some lyrics and play them for you or recite them for you. And you know what I'm talking about. Anybody who follows hip hop knows what I'm talking about. The rappers are really good at describing all the ways that they can murder a black man. That's kind of weird to me. I mean, I'm not even being critical at this point. Because I don't have to be critical, because the facts are critical enough. If you pay attention to the facts, that right there will lead you to say, what the fuck? Like, what is wrong with us, right? I don't even have to call it out, because I've been calling it out for years. And, you know, sometimes people listen, sometimes they don't. It is what it is. But anyway, let me go back to the third thing. Okay, so they rap about money. Usually they don't have any money. Usually they don't actually own much of anything that's really theirs. Or they'll do a video and they rent everything that's in their video. They'll talk about all the creative ways they can murder a black man. The third thing that they do is there's always a lyric about, what was it? Oh, something obviously with sex, right? So you got to throw sex in there. Sexual irresponsibility. You know, I'm going to have sex with whoever. I had sex with 4 girls last night, blah, 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 blah. And that's kind of unfortunate, because that's where a lot of the, you know, sexually transmitted diseases come from. That's why you got a lot of people dying of all kinds of shit, and nobody talks about it. I mean, because it's not cool to talk about it. Nobody cares. But, you know, a lot of bad things are happening behind the scenes. And also, you see the evidence you see is all these kids being born where they don't have no daddy, and their mama can't afford to take care of them. And we think it's okay because we were having sex to a beat, you know, right? The other thing is black women. Black women are the most disrespected group of people in the world. Music is so horribly disrespectful to black women. Is very strange to me. I just don't get it. I think that if there's ever a Me Too campaign in hip hop, oh, it's a wrap. Like 90% of your rappers is gonna go down, and half of the ones that go down for sexual harassment probably gonna go down for harassing another dude. Because a lot of these rappers is gay. I mean, if y'all, in case y'all don't know it, a lot of these dudes, they're not exactly ladies' men. Let's just say that. But that's another story. But at the end of the day, you know, I think that the disrespect of black women is something we should be ashamed of. I think as black men, I don't know if I played any part in that in my own life. I don't know if I've overlooked things I shouldn't have overlooked, but I'm definitely not proud of what I hear, the way I hear some of these artists talk about women. I mean, it's not, it does not breed trust in black men. The other interesting thing is, like, even if you talk about, you know, criminal behavior, that's the fifth thing that a lot of the music tends to promote, is various forms of criminal behavior, right? You know, things that are going to get you locked up and sent to prison. So while we will protest the prison industrial complex for very good reason, you know, we got movies like The 13th or 13 that tell us, you know, that the prison industrial complex is modern day slavery and stuff like that. We're finally getting awareness on that. I've been talking about that for a while. It took a lot of people time to kind of, finally became a fad, and now everybody talks about it. But at the same time, you know, you can't pretend like the music isn't designed to increase participation in prisons. Like, you can't act like the music doesn't encourage criminal behavior. Like somehow you're keeping it real by going out robbing, stealing, killing, slanging, and all this other stuff. So what's unfortunate is that, you know, a lot of people aren't talking about what's happening to these guys when they go to prison. They go to prison and they get raped, sometimes repeatedly. They get stabbed, traumatized, go through all kinds of hell, and nobody tells that to the kids. They make that lifestyle look fly. They make it look like it's something that you really want to do. So if you're a kid, like Malcolm was talking about in his post, Malcolm was saying something. I've said it before, but I'm glad he's saying it also because we need more people to say this. He said, look, not every kid is going to know the difference between fantasy and reality. Not every kid in the hood is going to have parents that can say, no, 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 you don't want to, you don't want to do all that. That's just music. You want to go over here and go to school and go to Harvard and all this other. Like most of these kids ain't got that. They got a daddy in prison. They got a mama that's working, 14 hours a day. So they're pretty much being influenced heavily by media, the same way the rest of America is. All of America is heavily influenced by media. Our children are influenced by hip hop more than anything else. The last thing that you'll hear in a lot of the lyrics is some reference to drug abuse. Smoke something, drink something, whatever, pop a pill. And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna tell you that what that does is that is a deliberate strategy to ensure that black men are never really competitive, that black men are never really a threat, that black men will never ever stand on the same level playing field as white men. Because if you have three men in a room and two of the men are warriors and soldiers and they've been trained intellectually at the highest level and physically at the highest level, and then one guy is the alcoholic drug addict in the back of the room, who do you think is going to control that room? Who do you think is going to have the most power in that room? The two guys that are bulked up, that are trained to use weapons, that have all the weapons, that have all the intellectual weapons, or the guy who's, let me hit that shit, nigga, man, shit, what you drinking, dog? What you, man, let me pop that, you got that Percocet, man, let me hit that lean, man. Shoot, I'm out with this lean, man. I ain't, I don't know what's going on up in this motherfucker, man. What kind of community are you ever gonna defend? You can't defend your community. You're worthless. You're garbage. A man that's sitting around high and drunk all the time is like worse than a child. Like he's not helping anything or anybody. He's only disappointing people. He's only an embarrassment to himself and his family. And so I just encourage you to kind of think about this a little bit. I think that Malcolm Jamal Warner's statement, I don't even know if Malcolm is going to ever see this. Maybe one of his friends is watching. But if you are a friend of his, tell him that I said that I'm proud of him, that I'm glad he did this, and I made this little video as my little way of just expressing support for this man, for having the courage to do this, because for him, the price of speaking out is a lot higher than it is for me. Again, a lot of these guys in this picture, I'll show you guys a picture again in case you guys just came in. A lot of these guys in this picture, these are people that he knows. I know a few rappers, but I don't know as many rappers as he might know. I've never met, I know people that know Jay-Z, but I never met him. I know people that know Diddy and T.I., but I've never met these guys. I know people that I know someone that knows pretty much everyone that's in this picture, but I've never met anybody in this picture. He probably knows everybody in this picture. And a lot of these people will call him a hater because everybody wants to believe that any black person that makes money represents black excellence. And me, I'm very, very big on supporting black business. I think that you can actually celebrate the good that comes out of this. Like, I think Jay-Z did a great job with his album 444 because he's teaching he's not just bragging about the game and bragging about the results of the game. He's teaching the game. He's giving you a lifetime worth of knowledge for $9.95. He's breaking it all down. I respect that, so these guys, again, if they were making their riches by doing things to make sure that the entire community knows how to build wealth, then I would be holding up the glass with them. I'm all for that, because business and industry, products have to be sold, and it's okay to sell. Everybody should be producing and selling something. Everything in this room that I have was sold to me. This ink pen was sold, this cell phone case, this shirt, this coffee mug, this camera I'm talking to you on, this laptop that I'm on, all this was sold. So everybody should be a producer. In fact, that's what we teach our kids in Black Millionaires of Tomorrow, a model called Poise, producer, owner, investor, saver. We tell them to keep your poise. You want to be a producer, an owner, an investor, and a saver. Not just a spender and a borrower and all these other things. You want to be a producer, which means you produce a product. You want to be an owner, which means you own some property, you own something of value. You want to be an investor, which means you're putting things away so you can have more tomorrow. And you want to be a saver because it doesn't matter how much money you make. What matters is how much money you keep. So ultimately, these guys, I think these guys can actually exemplify that. You saw with Swiss Beats, you know, he did a little degree at Harvard. I think he did an executive education program or something like that. I don't know if he went to Harvard for 4 years, but I know he got something from Harvard. I don't know what kind of exact program he went to. This guy, I don't know his name exactly, but I know he's smart. He's smart. I think he's like one of those behind the scenes guys. Ti, hell of an activist. You know, Ti is really evolving as a human being. I have a lot of respect for Tip. I know a lot of people that know Tip, and I think he's doing great. Diddy has made some great moves in terms of business. I don't think everybody could do what Diddy does because you don't need 10,000 black people selling liquor, right? You would need us to spawn off into other areas because again, liquor doesn't actually help anybody. Liquor actually makes you feel good, but you would get a lot of black families that get ruined over alcohol. Malcolm X used to say that the white man will sell you the liquor bottle and then he'll lock you up for being drunk. So it's okay to say you should be selling products, but you have to think about what you're selling to make sure that it's something that people are going to actually want to, you know, in a way that's going to benefit them in the long term. So it's easy to sell things like soul food, you know, that'll kill you and give you diabetes, or it's easy to sell entertainment to black people, you know, things that'll make us laugh or whatever it is because it numbs the pain. Anything that makes you feel good is basically a numbing mechanism. It's numbing the stress and the struggle that comes from being black, right? So if you numb the pain through alcohol, you can be rich. You numb the pain through comedy, you can be rich. You numb the pain through selling sex on some level, you'll be rich. You numb the pain through selling entertainment, you could be rich. You numb the pain through selling sports, which is another form of entertainment, you could be rich. You know, so in fact, actually, ESPN, the reason that they actually show First Take during the day and have an all-black cast most of the time is because they know that black men are the most unemployed group of people in America, and they know these black men are home. They're going to sit around watching sports all day. That's kind of the thinking behind the strategy. So anyway, let me see what you guys think. I might let you guys kind of give me your thoughts. Let's see here. Timothy says we're headed for self-destruction. I bet many of you don't know. Remember the Stop the Violence movement. Yeah, that was a great song. I remember that. Somebody says, Khalif says, I would sell booze, but black people are going to drink. So yeah, you know, I don't judge people for drinking. I don't drink myself because I've just had too many alcoholics in my family. And early in my life, I just kind of felt that I didn't want to be a part of that. It just didn't seem good. Yeah, I just said, you know, I'm better off if I stay away from it. Now, Kiana's asking, what 3 stocks did I buy? What are 3 stocks I bought today? I think I went deeper in the stocks that I owned. I told you, since I'm excited about the Black Panther like everybody else, I like to own what I'm involved in, right? I like to own at least a piece of it. So, you know, the thing about it, the movie The Black Panther is owned by Disney. And so I said, okay, well, I'd like to actually own a piece of that. So I went back and I bought some more Disney stock on my Robinhood app. What else did I buy? Let me see here. I'm gonna look at my account and see what my latest transactions are. Let's see here. I'm scrolling down and history. Here we go. I bought some S&P 500 spiders, which is an exchange traded fund, because the history says that when the market goes down, it usually comes back up. So I basically like to buy heavy when it goes down, and if it keeps going down, I'll just keep buying. I bought some Apple because Apple took a little bit of a dip. I bought some Overstock.com, ExxonMobil, and Twitter, as well as Disney. Again, Disney because I'm just big on the Black Panther movie. Now, why did I pick these stocks? Do I have any inside information? No, not really. I just believe in investing in a diversified portfolio. That's all I've ever done. You know, if you ever want to be rich, all you really have to do is invest consistently and just make sure you don't keep buying the same thing over and over again. If you spread your money out and you invest consistently, then you're going to be fine. Did he say Robinhood app? Yes, it's called Robinhood. Again, if you want to join our stock market investing class, you'll actually love it. The first 30 days are totally free. There's hundreds of hours of content. Also, I'm developing a certification system where after you're done, you'll have the option, if you'd like, to take a certification exam and get certified by the Black Business School on stock market investing. It's going to be a multi-part certification. I'm literally working on it every single day. and I should be done with it, I'm guessing, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that certificate is something you can put on your wall. You can tell people as we build the new Black economy that you graduated from the Black Business School, that you got this certification, and that will help you in terms of credibility for your partnerships. It'll help you get contracts, help you get jobs, stuff like that, because we have a certain amount of respect based on the experts that we have in the Black Business School. Like I said, I was really excited. Dr. Claude Anderson is actually joining us. He called me today. I'm going to call him again tomorrow. But he already said, Boyce, I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'm happy to be a part of it. And so he'll be in there. And to me, there's not a professor on this planet that I would want more than Dr. Claude Anderson to come into the Black Business School, because that's the godfather. That's a great man. So if you don't want to do the stock market program, you just want to be a part of the school, you can actually join theblackbusinessschool.com, totally free. Feel free to jump in, theblackbusinessschool.com. Also, if you want to check out our financial flashcards for children that we invented just for kids, you can actually go to financialflashcards.com. And I'm really proud of the financial flashcards, because this is something that didn't exist anywhere on this planet before we created them. And one of the things that I use, I actually use a lot of the same techniques that rappers do, because I figure that if these techniques can be used to convince kids to want to go to prison and kill each other, then they can be used to help kids want to learn how to invest for their future. So we put together these flashcards. We have two types. We have flashcards for children that just cover all business areas. We also have flashcards for entrepreneurship. So they cost about $28.99 and $29.99. So feel free to check it out. You can go to financialflashcards.com. That's financialflashcards.com. So you can kind of see some of the cards right here. In fact, let me see this video. I'll see if I can show you guys the video real quick. Hold on. Let me see. All right. So let me see if this plays. What's going on, everybody? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and welcome to what I call the Black Money Minute. I figure that we can talk about money, and I can teach you about money in less than a minute. Now, I want to show you these Black Millionaires of Tomorrow financial flashcards that we created for Black children to drill your child on the basics of wealth building, cooperative economics, finance, etc. So you see the word stock. You have other definitions in here. Let me go in here and dig deeper to find the card. So you got different sections on investing, stuff like that. Here you got mortgage, right? On one side, there's a picture of a house and keys. On the other side, there's a definition, an agreement that allows you to borrow money from a bank by offering something of value like a house. Taxes. You got the image on one side and the definition on the other side. Cash, the image, definition. Equity, image, definition. You can check these out at financialflashcards.com, and by drilling your kids on wealth, you'll find that they'll be ahead of other kids. Talk to you soon. Peace. Okay, so that was me just kind of showing you what we've kind of done. This is the stuff that we're working on all the time. So, and the key thing is that my goal is to actually work and develop things as opposed to just talking about what you should do. We develop solutions and we put things together that will actually help you to apply them to your own family. Because I think I figured out some of the secrets in terms of what it's going to take for the whole community to rise. The whole community is not going to rise because of the government. The government is too screwed up. The Republicans and Democrats, they hate each other. They're going to destroy each other. They're not going to get anything done. We're just hoping Donald Trump doesn't shoot off a nuclear weapon. They don't even care about white people. So they certainly aren't going to get around to Black people and their agenda. So that's the government option is out the window. The government's never going to pay reparations, at least not in the next 100 years. And when they do, it won't be very much. So the government's kind of off the table. Then you have these sort of pie in the sky sort of options, like with so-called Black leadership, right? A lot of Black leadership is fake. A lot of Black leadership, is kind of actually a reflection of the community. We tend to like people who are charismatic, who talk well, right? Who sound good. Like that's why we love our pastors. If anybody sounds like a pastor, they tend to get in because a lot of pastors have kind of mastered the ebb and flow of how you speak in a way that can persuade people to do certain things. So anyway, what happens though is that you'll find that your leadership often doesn't have the resources or the expertise to really guide the community to much of anywhere. And also a lot of their solutions, if you pay attention and look closely at it, it's sort of like everybody donate $50 to this fund Everybody give $100 a week. And the problem is that, you know, building an economic engine is a lot like building an actual engine. To build an engine, you need a mechanic. You need mechanics to help you build an engine. You know, if you don't have mechanics, you can get all the gas that you need, all the oil, all the lubricant, all the metal, and you still won't have an engine because only a mechanic or an engineer will know how to build an engine. So with the Black economy, the best thing that I can say I can offer you as a PhD in finance is that I taught financial engineering, right? I taught classes and topics like that. So we know how to engineer an economic system. So, you know, what I would come to you and say is, okay, I wouldn't come and say, just give me a bunch of money and let's see what happens. I would say, if we all invest in this, then this is what's going to happen. So if it's a big picture project and everybody put money in, then yeah, a person that understands economics really well and economic engines can take like $1 million and turn it into 5 million or something like that. There's plenty of opportunities out there like that. But even better than that, and that's something I'm going to probably come to you with because I'm talking to Jay Morrison right now. He's doing the Tulsa Fund. And Jay is a brilliant guy, very good guy. He runs the Jay Morrison Academy. Jay wants to basically raise, you know, massive funds like 30, 40, 50 million so that we can do things like make a movie that's as good as the Black Panther and have it be Black owned and Black distributed. Go buy, you know, 20 apartment buildings in an area and just say, this is a neighborhood that we're just going to rent out to people in our network, you know, things like that. Now, the thing is, the next level that I'm starting on, actually, that I really am most excited about is the one that doesn't require you to see yourself as a tiny piece of a great big project. What economic theory actually says, where we're learning how these economic engines are built, one of the things economic theory says is that a whole pretty much is nothing more than the sum of its parts. It may be more than the sum of its parts, but the individuals in a system are the ones who make up the whole system. So ultimately, at the end of the day, it's hard to motivate somebody to do something every day because it's benefiting the whole community, you know. But it's easy to get somebody to do something every day if it benefits them, right? You know, you sit down and you eat because you're hungry. You go to work because you need money. You spend time with your kids because they're your kids, right? Things like that. So my argument is very basic, that I believe that if we get a lot of individuals to simply do what's best for them, that will elevate the entire community, because families are nothing more than collections of individuals. So you elevate the individual, you're elevating the family. Like if I build stronger fathers, then we have stronger parents. And if I build stronger parents, then we have stronger children. We build stronger families, then we have stronger communities. Like it's hard to build a community. Imagine a neighborhood where half the families are like, have crack addicted mothers and fathers that are missing and kids that are out doing whatever, right? That's not going to be a community. It's going to be a dangerous place to live. But imagine a community, a neighborhood where all the families are healthy and happy and educated and productive and treat each other well. Well, you can do amazing things out of that, right? So when it comes to wealth, my argument is that that we can do some very basic things with our kids. Like, for example, I think that if your children just simply know a little bit about the three cores of wealth at an early age, a little bit about real estate, the difference between being a renter and an owner, a little bit about entrepreneurship, how to start a business by the age of 9, a little bit about investing, how they can get on an app and get in the habit of buying stocks on a regular basis instead of buying candy and clothes and toys. That's going to generate wealthy children. Like those children, there's a basic formula to make a child into a millionaire by the age of 40. Also, other basic things like reading every day and writing every day. All of us know how to read, all of us know how to write, but we have different levels of capability in those areas. So ultimately, the people that are the most informed have the most information. They're able to make the best decisions, that are able to have the best innovations, tend to be the people that are well read, the people that are communicating on a regular basis, the people that understand economic engines. So I believe that just by focusing on the individual and on the family, we can actually develop a stronger community faster that way, because you don't have to wait around for everybody else to catch up. Because as you can even see, even when we're out trying to do good, we get attacked by even other Black people, right? You've seen that. And because Black people are a sick community, we really are more likely to want to fight each other than we are to actually want to do anything productive. But I can't really talk because sometimes I fight. You punch me, I'm gonna punch you back, right? But what I say is that those who are not into that type of stuff can very easily sort of get away from that and just say, okay, just give me the information. Just give me what I need to do with my kids and with my wife. And we're going to focus on that. And we're going to build our own little empire. And the cool thing is that once you get your engine kind of moving, like think of it like a car engine where you got to first crank it, and then you keep cranking, then eventually it's like, then it's running on its own. Once you get your little economic engine moving, it is very empowering. Like it's great, because then it's like the first time I got my first moped, it was awesome to be able to go that fast without having to pedal anymore. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm going 40 miles an hour and I'm blowing, but the wind's blowing through my hair. And I'm like, and it was a very empowering feeling to be able to go a whole lot further with a whole lot less effort. So let's say you're working a regular job, but you're just reading books on economics. You're learning how to invest. You're going to networking meetings. You're sitting in on webinars and seminars. You're talking to family members like, how can we take this dollar and turn it into $10? How do we take this 1,000, turn it into 10,000? Next thing you know, you got your 3,000 a month in income until you take the plunge. You say, okay, I think I'm ready to quit my job. So then I have a full-time employee. My first full-time employee is me. Or maybe if I got a wife that's down, we both become the first two full-time employees. Well, right there, that's a $500,000 or more investment in your company that's being made. The fact that you and your wife are available to work on the company full time, and you both have skill and expertise from all the books you've been reading, that's like somebody walking up and writing a check for $500,000. Because most of the time when these companies get an investment, it's like it's used to buy human resources. It's used to get people to come and work for you. They spend most of it on staff, right? So when you and your spouse go and then your kids are working in the business, that's like literally putting $500,000 into your company. So then again, you got the know-how, because you're now more of an engineer. You know how to take the money and do smart things with it. You've got something to work with, and so at that point, you're able to walk away from the job and support yourself without the job. And then you figure out various models that allow your income to slowly increase. And then also you're constantly brainstorming with other people on business ideas, on ways you can either make your business better, or ways that you can find new lines of business that provide opportunities. When you get in that world, it's like a whole different reality. And the cool thing about it is that this is going to work whether Donald Trump's in office or Barack Obama. It really doesn't matter. It works under Obama. It works under Trump. This is going to work, no matter what's going on in the country. It doesn't matter if Black people are fighting or not. Negroes can argue all day, but you'll be getting yours. You'll feel, as empowered as these people in the movie Black Panther, where they got their little country, Wakanda, and it's like their sovereign territory. Like, you'll feel like your family is like your little kingdom. Like that's how I feel about my family. I feel like it's our little kingdom, like, and I'm the king of this. And I like that. And my children treat me in a certain way. They've always loved me, but they treat me differently when they know that their father can protect them. When they know that their father is a powerful man, they give you a type of respect that they won't give you if they don't think their father's a powerful man. I never just wanted my kids to love me. I wanted my kids to respect me. And I will say to you, this is really true for the men for sure, but also true for the women as well. When your children really respect you, it's a whole different kind of reality. It's a whole different reality. It just makes it easier for you to kind of run your own little kingdom. And so anyway, I'm done talking. I'm gonna just shut up now. I don't mean to ram off in that direction. I know I do that sometimes, but I think it's worthwhile. And really, I'm actually happy when people get bored and walk away, because I only want to talk to people that can really go deep with me, because I'm a deep person. I can't pretend to be stupid just so I can fit in. The smarter you get, Just so you know, I'm warning you. If you start reading more books and you become smarter, 99% of the shit you see around you is gonna look stupid as fuck. Excuse my friend, it's gonna look so stupid to you. You're gonna be like, my God, why I was clearly born on the wrong planet. You know, so so those of you who hang out with me, who ride with me, I appreciate you. Everybody else, you know, you just do what you do. Go to go hang out with. Go watch Cardi B's Instagram or something. Anyway, I'm about to go, guys. You have a good night, and I'm gonna go get to work. So once again, Malcolm Jamal Warner, good job on what you did. I'm very proud of you. Also, last but not least, congratulations once again to the Freedom Home Academy International. They were the first winners of the Felicia T. Couch Academic Achievement Award. Marcus Klein, the president, has gotten in touch with me. We are going to give them the $5,000 that we promised. Also, I will tell you guys that when we did our cash mob, it worked. When I asked everybody to match my donation, if you could, everybody, I gave the website. I'll give it again. It's FHAINTL.org. If you go to FHAINTL.org, which stands for Freedom Home Academy International, you can make a donation. And I asked everybody, I said, look, I'm writing a check for 5,000. If you could write a check for $5, $10, $50, I would appreciate it. And Marcus told us that they got 40 donations as a result of the money that we brought in from the podcast, from talking about it. Also, he said that he's going to take that 5,000 and he's going to use that to open up his next school down in Atlanta. And Marcus, if you're watching, I need you to know that when I come in, I want to know all about your plans, because I want to be on board. I want to see what I can do to help. I want to be a part of this. One of the three most important things in the world to me is what we call the Black Core of Three. We believe Black people must educate our own children. We must create our own jobs, and we must support Black businesses. So this is the first element of the Black Core of Three. So if you go to teacharourownchildren.com, you can actually see where we actually put together this interactive map of African-centered schools all across the country. So we're really looking for African-centered schools because we want to keep giving money away. So, this isn't the last school that we're going to support. We want to give money to as many schools as possible. And here's the map. And if you click on any part of the map, you'll see that, you'll see the school that's in your city or in your state. And some of them may be far away, but there are people that actually move as far away from as Washington to actually attend Freedom Home Academy International. And I just think that's awesome. That's a reflection of the fact that we made the right decision. So anyway, that's one of the things we're working on. And I can't say that I think we're going to win. We're already winning. We're already moving. We're already writing those checks, and we're going to keep doing it. And also I do it to the check. I write the check to honor my grandmother, Felicia, who was the first person who taught me financial literacy as a child. And it's my way of keeping my grandma alive, because she represents the essence of strength and the power of Black women. So to every Black grandma out here who's doing the damn thing for your kids, I love you. For every Black mama out here that's doing the thing for your children, God bless you. For every Black father out here that's loving their kids and being the strong man you're meant to be, keep going. And for every Black man who's going to be a father one day in the future, keep being a man. We will win this battle. But anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon. Be good. Peace.